Neely, you're ridiculous. Hey, what's up, guys? So, if you didn't notice already, I am in the middle of painting the YouTube room purple. It's so exciting, I know. I'm so glad that you guys are so happy for me because I'm so happy. My boyfriend is like literally the best boyfriend in the planet, or on the planet. You know what I mean. So I decided, since I'm doing an art video, might as well put my giant pots in it. And yes, they are both broken. The handles fell off of both of them. One in the firing process and the other one fell off while I was trying to put it in my car. But both handles are fully intact and very fixable. I'm waiting for the liquid nails to come in the mail now. And as soon as I get my liquid nails, then they will have handles on them. The handles are purple and they match the room perfectly. So that just gives you an idea of what they will look like. If you want to know what they look like exactly, or at least the shapes of the handles, I think, you can check out my Instagram because they're on there. So, in this fine video on this fine midnight of a night, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why did I say that? Paige, speak English. What's wrong with you? Have you heard of English before? No, I guess not. But what I was trying to say is it is now 12:12 in the morning and Neely is still fully awake because he's literally slept all day. And I should not be awake. I have class at 10 a.m. But you know what? My life doesn't allow sleep. So there will be no sleep for Paige's life. So what I was trying to say earlier before I got off on a tangent about not speaking English correctly, on this fine night, I'm going to be telling you guys how my beautiful transition that is in my banner came to be. And Neely obviously is going to be needy and therefore very requiring of a name change from an L to a D. So instead of Neely, it would be needy. My transition is actually drawn by yours truly, Paige. In my color and design class, I had to draw the transition. It was one of our projects. And for the project, we were allowed 2 weeks to think of the design and actually do the project. So we were given 2 entire weeks, okay? Whenever I started this project, my initial design was going to be transitioning a chandelier into a dress. And it was inspired by a TV commercial that I had seen. It had something to do with a pear. The pear turned into a lampshade, and then the lampshade turned into a girl with a dress on. And so that's what inspired my transition. What I did was made a chandelier into a dress, and for the first week and a half of the project, my professor was perfectly okay with that. This is the design. That was what it was going to transition from this to this. And I was going to do this, and that was going to be it. And she was perfectly okay with it, yeah? So a week and a half goes by. I had my whole design drawn out. I just had to really do the actual project. And I had this design drawn out and I finally show her and she had already okayed it and she had okayed the initial drawings of it and everything. She was perfectly okay with it. And she saw that paper that I just showed you. She was like, you know what? I really think that your drawing skills require you to do something a little more challenging. And I was like, are you kidding me? Challenging? We have 1 class period left and it's due on that class period. So this was a 2-day-a-week class, I think, maybe a 3-day-a-week. And it was the end of the week and then the next class on the Monday or Tuesday, that's when it was due. And I was like, challenging? What are you talking about? Why on earth would you say that I need to do a more challenging project when we have no time left for this project? And she's like, well, I just know your drawing skills and this just isn't advanced enough. And I was like, you're serious? You really want me to come up with a whole new idea and project and execute that project before next class period? She didn't even do this to anybody else, mind you, just to me. So everyone else had 2 weeks to do their project, while little old Paige over here had basically 4 days, if that. I don't know. I think it was over the weekend, so I at least had that. So I I ended up coming up with a project, and I decided to make a plant, which this is a dark sketch, like you guys will be able to see it, but it's literally a plant into a girl. I came up with this idea 100% by myself, and I can probably show you the actual pictures, but this is a plant that I found in the USI art department building, and then this is a picture of a tennis player, and I chose these two things because I absolutely adored this plant. Like, I had seen it multiple times and I loved it. And then I'm like obsessed with drawing tennis players. I don't know why. I mean, I played tennis all 4 years of high school, but I have like a weird obsession with drawing them for some reason. I don't know. I guess it's you draw what you love, or you draw what you do, or whatever. I don't know. There's a saying, something around those lines. But yeah, so I chose to take this plant and transform it into this girl. So these are the pictures that I started with. I drew both of these, of course. But then, after I had these drawn, I just took tracing paper and a light board, and I took this girl and this plant and transposed them over the top of each other. And then I took a third tracing paper and I put them on a light board, which my dad actually brought me home a map table. I don't know, it's like a topographer's table or something like that. And it has a mirror on the bottom of it and then a glass tabletop as the top of it, and the mirror is angled like this, and then the glass is like a table. And so I shined the light into the mirror, and that shined up onto the glass table. That way I didn't have to legitimately buy a light board, because otherwise, if I didn't have that table, I don't know what the heck I would have done with my freaking self, because I would have had to spend all of these hours that I spent at home doing this at school, which would have been like totally freaking annoying. But who knows what would have happened. All I did was I took this girl, this plant, I taped them on top of each other, then I took a third piece of paper and taped it on top of that, and then I would change the last piece of paper ever so slightly from the original, because I was going from the plant to the girl, so I would change it ever so slightly, and it took me 16 hours. And so I would go from the last picture, whatever the last thing was that I drew, to the next paper. So I didn't keep the original plant on there every time. I just used the last one that I had. It ended up working magnificently, and it turned out so amazing, and I love it. And it's like absolutely my #1 favorite thing that I've ever drawn or made in my entire life. I absolutely adore it. I actually went on to make a ceramic plate set of this exact same thing, and I took all of these pictures and I sgraffitoed it into a set of plates that I made, which also transitioned from what was kind of like the base of a planter, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like a cupped bowl, kind of like you sit it underneath of a planter that you put plants in. Like, they're terracotta colored, which is like an orange red, if you guys don't know what terracotta is, but they're the orange red colored plant things that you literally put outside to plant stuff in. Well, the bottom of that is what I made the plant version of the plate, and then I transitioned it into a perfectly smooth rounded circle, which was supposed to be like a tennis ball. And so I was completely 100% obsessed with this project, and I ended up spending 45 hours on my ceramic set that I made with the plates. And so altogether, this transition has very, very, very hugely taken a part in my heart. This project and this transition is just like, it's a part of me now. Like, there's no way to take that away from me. I have devoted many hours into this whole project, and I'm absolutely in love with how both things came out. So that's why I had to put it in my banner, because it 100% defines like who I am as a person. I absolutely love that freaking plant, and I absolutely love tennis, and I transitioned it, and I spent so much time, and it literally embodies everything that I absolutely adore up until the time when I got my YouTube channel. So I had to incorporate it into my YouTube channel by making it into my banner, so that way all of that stuff that I like truly fucking adore could be all together in one. So I had to eventually make a video about this because it just means so much to me, and it's such a huge thing to me. I couldn't just leave leave it so that you guys never knew why I had that as my banner, you know? And I'm sure like a lot of you probably don't even think that I am the one that drew that. And so I had to make sure that you guys knew that because it means so much to me, you know? So that is pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. I also wanted to touch a couple bases about the fact that I haven't been doing the best job like uploading on time. And so I wanted to make sure you guys knew that the reason why I haven't been doing that is because I just started school. It's been 3 weeks now, maybe 2. I'm not really sure. This might be my 3rd week that I'm in right now. But school has been hugely overwhelming. So I definitely had to dial back on the YouTube and broadcasting and stuff like that. So I hope you guys can forgive me, but hopefully this week's video will be uploaded, I think on Thursday. So yeah. But if you guys liked this video, make sure you click the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. I do put out a new video every single week. I've very rarely missed a week since I started uploading videos, but I don't really have a schedule because I kind of suck at scheduling. So if you made it to the end of this video, bless you. Seriously, God bless you because you're freaking amazing. Don't forget to put any of your comments or questions, concerns, conundrum, or anything that you want to tell me in the comments below because I love reading your guys' comments. Like, it makes me feel so special. And that is the end of this video. So I'm signing off. Bye, guys. Love you. I don't know what it was, but whenever I was little, I was like obsessed with frogs, and like they would find me. It was just like they would sniff me out and they'd be like, oh my god, there's Paige. Let's go stand by her. Be like a little froggy.